Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Smith and congratulations! You have now made it to Unit 4 in Art History and you have entered the age of Baroque art. I bet there's a zillion jokes out there about the Baroque art period because isn't every artist Baroque? I swear I made that up earlier, all by myself. But let's continue. And we're going to go over an extra credit project that will be combined with your grade at the end of this unit. So it'll boost that grade way up. All right, so let's just go over a little bit about the Baroque period again. It took place between the late 1500s to the middle 1700s. And it was filled with everything being over the top. It was in art, literature, sculpture, music, architecture. Everything was super detailed, super ornate. It was over the top, filled with drama. It was meant to stimulate your senses and your emotions. So as you kids like to say, it was really extra. So we're going to do a project that is really extra, but we're going to give it a little bit of a modern twist to it. Okay, I've included in the PLP a PDF file. That's a lot of initials, isn't it? PLP, PDF. But here's a file for you that has directions, samples, and everything you need to know how to complete this project. But let's go over the supplies that you're going to need, all right? First of all, you're going to need some magazines over here. So it can be any type of magazine. If you don't have any pictures of people, you could also do animals, or if you have none of that, get creative, do something that's an object then that we can work with. All right, so magazine pictures or whatever you have. You could use photograph, greeting card. Look at this, there's a picture on a granola box. So get creative with that. You'll need a pair of scissors. You will need glue or tape to tape it down onto your artboard. You will need always pencil and eraser for an artist. And at the end you'll need either Sharpies or a ballpoint pen. If you don't have any of this, continue using the pencil and then just make your lines darker. And then last you'll need an artboard or some paper for your project. Preferably plain paper is going to work the best. All right, so what we're going to do is cut out a picture from this magazine. So take a look. This is a final project here that I can show you. Let's zoom in on it. The picture was cut out of just the girl without the hair on there. So it's just the head with the torso and glued down onto the page. And then what is done is you're going to use your pencil to get started to do some type of crazy hairdo. It could be a hat. It could have feathers. It could have a beautiful dress coming around, those really funny collars that they wore back in those days. All of that stuff you can do with pencil to get started. And then you can go and do all the detail in the ink. But you're going to continue to go on there and add lots of ornate details that will be scrolls, and you could use items in nature like flowers, leaves, vines, butterflies, birds, you name it, okay? So you're going to get your picture all done, and remember, the more detail, the better the grade. Okay, so I found my picture, and now I'm going to cut out just her face. So I'm going to start over here. Be careful. No false moves. And I'm just going to slowly, I'm not in a hurry, art isn't a race. Remember me saying that? All right, I'm going to slowly continue to cut out the entire face. Okay, so I finished cutting out my face, and it's a little odd looking, I'm not going to lie, but this is just a work in progress, remember? So now what we're going to do is glue it onto our board. And if you don't have glue, you can use tape. But remember, if you're going to use tape this way to fold it and put on the back side. And then if you're using your glue stick, just make sure you get glue all around the edges. There you go. And then think about where you want to place it. Do you want her to have a beautiful headdress with a lot of detail going on over there? I would place it down here. If you want to have flowing hair all around, then maybe place it here. I'm going to place it right about here because I'm going to have both. All right, and then just glue that down really good. And then you're ready for your next step, which is going to be with your pencil to get things drawn out and get some sort of idea of what you want to do. All right, so what I've done is I've gone in and I've started to create a hairline for all of her flowing hair I'm going to have going around her face. I'm going to go in and add more detail later, but right now I'm just getting the flow of everything and how it's going to look, the ornateness of it. I can go in and I'm going to add a couple of, butterflies here and there that I can get around her. I might go in and add some birds up here. Again, these are just designs that I will fill in afterwards. So there could be some more that I do as far as some flowers that I get in here as well around her. And I'm going to continue to just get a little pattern going everywhere first with my pencil before I start doing all the details. Okay, so as you can see, I've added all my details. And remember when I said put lots of stuff with nature? I have a sparrow over here, I have roses, flowers, sun, the bumblebee with the beehive pattern. And this is a bumblebee, it's not that new murder hornet that's out on all the social media now, but it is scary. But I have flowers, leaves, tropical looking things, all of that. Now take a look at this right here. I did a rose on her and it extends onto her head. So what I'm going to do is lift this up and carefully cut around this. Okay, so I've cut that out. I went ahead and redrew the flower back in there. And then let's just take a look at our samples real quick. The one thing that you're going to notice is that there's a lot of lines that are really thick or areas that are colored in very dark. And then there's areas that are real thin lines and medium shaped lines. So that's something you really want to do is vary your line weight throughout your piece. So what you want to do is I might start with the hairline first, and I'm going to go in and really do a thicker outline first to get started. All right, so I'm going to go around and do all of this in a thicker outline. Okay, then when it comes time to do the details on the inside part, I can go in and I can use a thinner Sharpie and I can go in and make my wavy lines with the thinner Sharpie. All right, so notice how much detail is in this whole piece. Remember, the more detail, the better the grade. All right, after you finish your final touches on everything, remember, color in some areas really dark. Notice how I have some real thin lines, thick lines, medium lines, really ornate, really extra. And then you can go in with your eraser and erase any pencil lines that you see. And then once you're done with all of that, you've got your final piece. Be sure to look at your handouts for references and send me your masterpieces. So that's our art project for Unit 4. I will continue to add some more extra credit projects in there as well. And you know where to reach me if you have any questions. And I can't wait to see what you're going to send in. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Art can be so magnificent.